Okay, so this is for the Ranger midsize, which is the 400, the 500, the 560, the EV, the midsize 800. It covers a whole bunch of models there. So this one is for that particular model. All of them are the same thing. All of them have the same body style unless it's 2015. They started making the midsize in its own size body in 2010. In 2010 through 2015, midsize fits this one. If you're not sure if you have a midsize or not, you can measure the width of your roll bar. Midsize is going to be about 47 inches. Full size is going to be about 54 inches. So it's a really quick, easy way to check, especially if you have an 800. A lot of people get confused. Lots of people spend extra money because they order the wrong windshields for their 800s, because there's an 800 that's midsize and there's an 800 that's full size. So it's a quick little check. If you have any questions, call us. We will make sure you get the right windshield, so there's no need to send it back. Your windshield's going to come to you shipped basically like this. It's going to have all your instruction packages and such attached to it. It's wrapped up in plastic, but that's basically what it is. To start installing this windshield, one of the most important things, we're going to take off this, we're going to peel back this protective plastic. We're going to peel it back just past the holes. That way, if there is any problem, this windshield is not returnable if the protective plastic is removed. So just understand that. So that's why we just go over this, is if you just remove this, if you just peel this protective plastic back just past the holes, then everything is all safe and easy. And then we're going to go put this on. Now, before I go any further, our three tools that we're going to need on this one is our Phillips head screwdriver, 7/16" wrench, and the star rings, which fit some little bolts right inside the hood. Here's where our center support brackets go. So we're going to need those three tools. You've got just this master one. So your T27 key is what you're going to need for that. So we peeled out the protective plastic. Now we're going to set the windshield on here. If you happen to have these little straps, move these up, because they'll get in the way when you go to put it on initially. We'll move them down once we get the windshield in the place we want it to, but initially it's easiest if you have both slid up, which I've done on that other side. I'm going to have Brandon help me over here. Find it easier to have two people to hold it in place. Take that side off. One of our clamps, lock washer, bolt and nut. Put this bottom guy on. And literally, you can put both of your clamps on, just do not secure them down at this moment. See, what we're going to kind of want to do with that little strap is we're going to basically want to set it kind of in the center of here. So as it kind of bows over that, it's spanning up nice and smoothly. And stick this bolt nut in here. Like I say, these are, I'm just barely threading them onto the screw. I do not want them tight at this moment. It's made to be tight, so sometimes these, especially your bottom bracket, is probably sometimes the harder one to put on. Sometimes it helps to have your little screwdriver there to help push the bolt through a little bit further as you're just working to get all this stuff to lock up, and then you can kind of thread it in real quick that way. So it fits in there pretty tight. How I designed it to fit is tight like that. So make sure the windshield works before you do the following step. Now, I'm going to have Brandon move over into a better position so he can kind of see these. And the bonus to putting these on it, these brackets on it this time, is they also helps you get everything aligned. Because if your windshield isn't lining up, then you've got it out of position. And if it's out of position, you can adjust it easier when the bolts are loose than when the bolts are tight. So I'm going to use my T27, right? Isn't it? Yeah, T27. Take that off. Put this guy on here. Oh, one of the things I didn't mention in the very beginning there was that, see, and there's the very thing. If you'll just notice, when I went to stick that on, as I slid that on, because of this, the dash kind of floats, you can get it a little out of position. So that's why it's honestly on this guy, it's kind of a nice little intermediary step right there that just makes sure it's all lined up where we want it. And get you it literally as you sink this bolt down into the to the body right there, it's going to suck this windshield down to a position that is exactly where it needs to be. Just crank these down here nice and snug. And I want to get that guy positioned right and tight first. And tighten that back in there like it was, which was tight. Same thing on this other side. We're going to tighten this back down in position here. Nice and tight. That part is actually done. And like I say, we can actually go ahead right now and tighten. We can literally go ahead and tighten all 6 of these screws up. Before you lock these down, try to look and make sure they're nice and straight so it looks clean. As you're putting these bolts on, as you're tightening them up, if you take your wrench and put a little pressure forward, it assists the windshield in staying out in front of the roll bar so the bracket doesn't suck it back. So it's not like you need to put a ton of pressure on, just a little bit of pressure in on that. Now we're going to tighten up all in the same way. When you're tightening down, I mean, you want to snug them up nice and tight. Never, ever, ever use Loctite. Never use Loctite on any plastic, not just this windshield, any plastic. Loctite is not designed for plastic, it is designed for metal. If you use Loctite on this windshield, it will blow it up, is what Loctite does to plastic. So the lock washers and all that, had mine on my bike 5 years, still just as solid as the day I built it. Put it on there. So don't need to worry about that. Now I'm basically done with this, so I'm going to rip this off. Makes it easier for you to see. Put my hood back down, just so you guys can also see that how it all fits up nice and clean. Doesn't cause any bulge or bumps into your hood, changing your hood position up at all. As I said, it's going to tilt like this. And this little roof, we're going to need to push right here a little bit. In our own position maybe. Or it's just a little tap of the hand. Okay, so basically the way this clamp is going to go on is just like that. So I'm going to show you right here because it does get a little dark up in the roof there. So this is going to come around. And what's easiest, I think, is to actually slip this onto the roll bar with this. And then just kind of spin it around. And then once you have it there, while I have it right here, like to just go ahead and get this little guy attached on. Put it there. Get my lock washer and nut. And I'm good to go. Get that guy nice and tight. Slide him over as close as we can to the center. Okay, now I got that nice and secured on there. Then I'm going to grab my bolt, nut, and lock washer. And Brandon's going to go out in front. We're going to put that bolt through there. And you're going to go out in front. And then I'm just going to put that on there like that. And that's going to give us our center support. Pushes your windshield a little bit off of the roll bar, just a touch off the roll bar. This is what we want, because now when we go to strap this down, it's just going to give more of a bow to our windshield, and that's where everything we can do to increase our flex and our bow to that, we're doing. And how do you put the straps on? Smooth side facing you, clip to the front, pull it tight down to the windshield, loop it through, strap it, pull it tight, wrap it all the way around. Do that on all 4. And that's our windshield. I mean, you see our windshield's nice and tight. We can be going as fast as we want to be going and all that good stuff. Now, obviously put the 4 straps on. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to put the rubber bumpers on to protect your hood and how to strap the windshield down. All right, so we're going to take the 2 straps that we put up on here on the side that we strap it up with. It's going to be our 2 straps to strap it down with. first strap goes through this slot in the windshield. Smooth side of the clamp, or smooth side of the strap facing you. We're going to go back through that eyelet, pull that guy like that. Second strap is going to go on the furthest, or the notch furthest out of your windshield. Again, smooth side facing us, putting that in. Now what I'm going to do right now, this isn't normally how we'd be towing it down. I'm just going to softly lock it in place. I need a little bit of movement in here so I can put 4 rubber bumpers on. So I'm just going to cinch it down just a little bit. Do the same thing over here real quick. And this is how I'd recommend you do it before you put the bumpers on. Very first one I did for my bike, I put the bumpers on without securing down the windshield a little bit, and maybe I'm just anal retentive. I wanted the bumpers to basically set center on the windshield, and the windshield moves a little bit when you go to strap it down. And we're off-centered, and these aren't easy to get off. So do it once, because once you stick them down, you can move them around a little bit, but once you put a little pressure down on them, they're done. So 2 points we're going to hit. It's right here and right here. So these are the 2 points that we're going to be putting our bumpers on. We're going to put one right there. We're going to go over here and put one right here. Oh. See, and they still move if you don't push down on them. Once you push down, there. And this guy, if you notice, this has a little bit of a slope like that, so you don't want to put it quite right on the end. If you come in at about 1.5 inches or so from the end, you're going to have a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches right there. Puts it on a nice smooth level, or smooth level, and that's not really the case, is that it's where the highest point is on that edge. Now, I've got my bumpers in place. What am I going to do? When I'm towing it, when I want to run without my windshield up, you know, it's dusty, it's hot, I'm tilting my windshield down, this is the way I'm going to strap it. Now, when I do this, though, is now I am really going to give this some force. I'm going to pull hard on that, and I'm going to lock in that back guy right there. And then I'm going to pull this guy and lock him around this. So basically, in our instructions where we say double Velcroed, that's what we're meaning, is now we have this one Velcroed, each one of them is Velcroed to each other, which gives you a much safer situation when towing. And the most important thing in towing is just like with every other thing you have. If your straps start getting trashed, replace them. Vehicles go through an insane amount of wind pressure on a freeway. So it's one of the reasons why we designed our windshield in the down position. Multiple reasons why, but one of the main reasons why we did that is that it keeps, reduces your wind resistance as you're driving down the freeway. It makes it, you're getting less debris hitting your windshield, which is another thing. And this is just a great, safe way. It holds it nice and tight in place. I'm pulling up on that really hard. Now I'm budging it. So wind, and truthfully, is going to be pushing this windshield down, so it's not even going to be trying to pull it up. So it's kind of part why the design of it. It's actually much better than having the full non-tilting kind of a windshield that's always designed to be in the up position. High wind resistance, and most of those windshields on their fine print state, if you tow this and you go more than 70 miles an hour, the windshield is void, the warranty is void. Ours is only void if you don't tow it in the down position. Ours is required to be towed in the down position, but this is also a position where, while we're here, it's a great place to clean it. Another advantage to the tilt windshield, cleaning it. I don't know, every windshield on the market needs to be rinsed off with water first before you wash off. I don't care what more resistant surface you have. So there's not a windshield, unless you're paying $1,000+ for it, that's going to be a higher mar resistant than this particular windshield. So you're talking about some of the best stuff out there that's affordable. But if you spray Windex on this, you'll destroy your windshield. Windex is the greatest destroyer of plastics, any of them. It's got ammonia in it. Ammonia kills them. So you rinse this off with water, dry it off. You can use a Novus One product. We sell that. It's a great product. It's an anti-dust, anti-static product. Put on it. It's it. Anything more than that, soap and water. Dawn soap is wonderful. Dawn soap and water works perfect. That's, for maintenance, that's really all you need to do. Rinse it off with water first, tow the down position, you know, the straps ever need replacing. I've had mine for years, so I think you got to go quite a few years, but after years, you need them replaced, give us a call, email us, we can send them out to you, they're not too expensive. Thanks, we appreciate your business.